There are those of us who feel lonely, and in order to forget their loneliness, they go to the kitchen. They open the refrigerator and they take things to eat. That's not good. Edible food is the first nutriment. And we have to learn to eat in such a way that preserve compassion in us. We have to eat in such a way to prevent illness, to make our body healthy, and not to destroy this body that has been transmitted to us by our ancestors. And this is the practice of mindfulness, called mindfulness of eating. And secondly, sensory impression. This kind of nutriment we do not consume by the way of the mouth. We consume with our eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. When we read a magazine, we consume. When we watch a television program, we consume. And what we consume may have an effect on our body and our mind. There are many toxic products that they sell, like craving, like anger, like fear, because we want to have a strong emotion. That is why they can sell us many things. And the market is full of these items. And that is why we have to consume with mindfulness. We should choose the kind of television programs that are not toxic for us, for our children. They should not be craving, violence, fear, anger. Because if we consume these things, we destroy ourselves inside. We cannot be the home for ourselves and for the other person. When I was in India, I was invited by the Times of India to be guest editor on the day of the anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. I was sitting with other editors, and suddenly one person saw a piece of news that just came. There was a bomb attack, many people died. And one of the editors said, "Thầy, what we should do in a day like this when we receive so many bad news? As a journalist, how should we react?" I remember that I practiced mindful breathing 3 times deeply before I answered. I said, "Gentlemen, you have to report the truth on your newspaper. You have to tell the truth. You cannot hide the truth about violence, anger, fear. But you have to report in such a way that will not water the seed of anger, fear, despair in people. In order to do that, you have to be peaceful. You have to look deeply to understand why such attack happened. What kind of emotion that the terrorists had. Why they are preparing the attack. So you have to understand. And you should have compassion within yourself. And understanding and compassion help you to write a report that can tell the truth in such a way that will not water the seed of anger and fear and despair in the mind of your readers. And that is our practice, our spiritual practice. And everyone appreciated that answer. So if you are a journalist, You write articles in such a way, you report on the events that happen in the world in such a way that help, that promote understanding and compassion in the mind people, even if they are learning what is happening in the world. And if not, we go and poison people and make this world into a place not safe for us and safe for our children. So when we consume magazines, news, television, when we consume musics and other things in order to forget our suffering inside, we are making the situation inside of us more and more difficult. We are destroying the little home inside that is not home building. So consume radio, television, books, even conversation in such a way that you will not bring in toxins, because you need a home inside for yourself and for him or for her. So mindful consumption of sensory impressions is very important. What does not help to build a home, you refuse to consume. Consume only what can be helpful in building a home inside of you. Your desire, your hope, your aspiration. This is the energy that keeps you alive. You want to be someone. You want to do something with your life. And if you are motivated by compassion, by love, by true love, you have a good source of energy, volition. But if your volition, your desire is to punish, to kill, to destroy, that is not good nutriment. So every one of us should look deeply to see what is the deepest aspiration of our life. To run after fame, wealth, sex, good food, power is not good volitions. Because so many people destroy their body and their mind running after these objects of craving. So we should have the kind of wholesome volition. We should have the kind of deep aspiration that pushes us into being someone, doing something that can help society, the planet, relieve the suffering of the world. And if you have that element of nutriment in you, you are a true home for yourself. You are a true home for him or for her. So give rise to the mind of love in you, the mind of love, a strong aspiration for peace, compassion, understanding. I vow to develop understanding and compassion in me with my practice, so that I can become an instrument of peace and love to help society and the world. That is the kind of volition that we need. And those of us who have that kind of volition, we are strong. We are able to confront any kind of obstacles and difficulties if we have that kind of volition in us, bodhicitta, the mind of love, the deepest aspiration. Our individual consciousness is influenced by the collective consciousness. If we live in a place where people only think of sensual pleasure, and then will be carried away by that desire oneself. You are not like that, but if you put yourself into that environment, you become one of them. So if you live in a place where there is a lot of hate, lot of violence, you know that your child will consume the collective energy of hate and violence. So realizing that you are not in a good environment where the collective consciousness is negative, is destructive, you have to right away pull yourself out of that environment for your sake, for your children's sake. Get out of that environment right away, not to continue to consume that kind of collective feeling, collective emotion of anger, of fear, of despair. If you want to help, you go back after you get the strength, and with the Sangha you can go back to help. But now, to continue in that environment is suicidal. So if you realize that the environment is toxic, you have to stop right away, because collective consciousness is destructive. Come to a place like Bangladesh, where there is no collective hate, collective violence, and there is enough brotherhood and sisterhood for our children to use as nutriments, and give rise to the strong aspiration to build a place like that for our own refuge and for the refuge of our other friends of us. That is, provide ourselves with the fourth kind of nutriment. In a relationship where you share with your partner the same kind of aspiration, and then you become one, and you are become an instrument of love and peace. And whatever you do together, because you are a Sangha of 2 people, a Sangha of 3 people, of 4 people, of 100 people, like in Upper Hamlet. We do everything together. We have the same concern. We have the same desire. We have the same future. There's no more place for jealousy. Because we are all faithful to the same aspiration. And whatever the other person does, you do it with him or her. You share everything. That is the spirit of upeksha. So that makes fidelity possible. And you still have your freedom. And she still have her freedom intact. Love is not a kind of prison. True love gives us a lot of space. And whatever you enjoy, the other person will enjoy. And what concerns you, the other person feel concerned also. So let us breathe together as a Sangha with a bell.
This poem is inspired by Thich Nhat Hanh's teachings. I am light, yet I dance with the night. A shadowed flame, a glimmer bright. I am the all that I am not, a boundless field, a sacred plot. Breathing in that, I taste the stars. Exhaling love, dissolving scars. What I take in takes me to a mirrored grace, both old and new. This life, a thread of mystery spun, each moment a drop in the endless one. I bow to the miracle, vast and wide, in love's embrace, with night as my guide.